episode for Ahaya GC News. Mima Obibia Akwaba. Latest hot news and I'm a bravo. Na answer is something in our bebano. Bomodi ase obe subscribe to channel. Na wa like video, give us a thumbs up. Na fi share ba wo foforo so na wenye bi hwe. Na wo hu ensemwa ekoso ewo Ghana memo hanam. Afi yehwe eye ensemwa abeto yepono so. Yikuti eye sansemu ya ekoso. Mama yintie eye nkomo ya ekoso.
Captain, I think on this particular subject, your friend Lucius shall say, I think I had about one, just will be a surprise because you know how the 2024 election was conducted and the 2020. Some of these electoral malfeasances occasion on several places, but the Electoral Commission at the time adopted a certain belligerent posture. Now, I'm amenable to wisdom. Ghana ni Kenyans asema wono mubu toibi. Yes, or a lot of the issues in Yinakokodai. 2024 elections, the parliamentary elections. Asama, I see our Pandaya Nam, so I declare this particular election void. You know, several of such kind of happen in many places. Accra, the Electoral Commission, SSR election from Eastern Region, from Kumasi, I don't know, for Ebekriti Center, Accra has say. At the time of Moya declaration, not some of the offense. Other party officials, they were not there. Against all the 7 among 4 Kenyans, they never listened to anybody. And that's how ruling ya Bible and seek to affirm some of the malfeasances that happened here during the election process. And now you zoom back to certain conduct, ni post electoral commission, then you give credence to a petition obi. Edakoma president to say, you remove the your friend saying, easy boss, the deputies in Fluho. Nipana watch sa petition, no. At your friend Joseph Blankson, or your former IT administrator, our electoral commission, or according to him, yeah, the assumption so na your finance accounts are permanent flu and a few for the past 2 years. I mean, oh, good. And see, or no, as an insider, no, and a wafa pen paper and watch a petition. And now the Akakoma president na person ever kwakwada di intino and on san kwaye interview ma manfo hu say yes me the petition ko because the petition no submit no sumase a ebia e ma bonte ma manfo ntene them until the president may but on san kwaye interview just to put pressure on the system say
me I made the petition
ko me the petition ko so I mean I'm expecting that something will come out of it and I think say there is no single person who submit a petition against the Electoral Commission any deputies are and so CD say because the crimes these people have committed ebia remove our crime enough because crimes enough for them to be languishing in jail because and I'm also and I'm nipa bebre nya omuwo e wo kroma say na ye do ko shaya your friends are voter region yantra kroma manipa your friend saying the whole 4 years I'm for kroma representation kra wo nya bi na to deny a whole population of your friends saying of parliamentary representation for a whole 4 years, do you think easy? Yes, you can answer. And aside that, you can name a course in the 2020 elections. As for Makacha say Electoral Commission there petition among for the course you move through a bag a dorsal. And as so chrome her, people might think I don't know what shall say or to the near state institution, not so for but the fact of the matter, I say, so what do you want to come back? Now, when near my James and the boss man, aside Aquabi can as any tete. Somewhere tete was a wine, and some Munako we didn't the criminal because a fear what can't Ghana for your because a register anybody your friends and punching in a Google and quite to obey president to Chroma say. At the time, I Ghana forward genuinely expressing concern about the dignity and the sanctity of the electoral processor. You bet me a far crime so I near my Sakas a fee win and no one no more country. And the boss, my son, Mensa, I almost say they are playing nice because they know that the tables have changed. But the fact of the matter is that crimes have been committed in the past. And a idea, Ghana for any down and then that will be a submitted petition. And I am throwing a caution into air. Said this particular petitions go through a more being being Gaza and will be no to the nearest electoral commission floor because say a particular institution here resetter. It is the Electoral Commission because of a number Akoso Ewu Kroma say And that is quite clear. And again, on the side of the MPP, we must suffer this particular way. No? You see, now I'm better than catch you say. The MPP as a political party, Captain, and tells you say what lose power. Now when you numbers like 88 seats in parliament, you're not going to elections, and consistently you are losing the numbers. I'm going to lose saying. If you say you're to a general election, they don't say no free, and the likelihood of another person getting out is quite clear. We come to okay, and the likelihood so be here free as high. And you see, Sandy might be saying no. They say this particular election, could have been NDC on the other side could have just let it go then as a forum. But Captain, so how posturing and the conduct of certain individuals in parliament, especially somebody like Afenyo Markin, the way of conducting who on the parliament and then as a forum. Some of these things will give rise to Tanyama way and people will pursue it or with all their energy. So we hear title sorry ne case some interview no more na. Or say ne client no chop petition same for Chief Justice it's because of Afenyo Markins. Afenyo Markin is the reasoner or the whole side abufoni nyina kokoye de oye no. Just don't say conduct no mugu parliament or more na de bia man for kan ho asem no. Whenever you are in opposition, this is not the way to behave. Some belligerent sitting on high horses, arrogant, that kind of way no. Yemfa ni opposition yachi. Because Captain, so we opposition party you are supposed to have a good relationship with the people because you are in opposition and you become a voice of the people. But then it's the opposite. It is rather the government that the people see say you find solace in the government more than the opposition. Because near opposition, that is not what they are doing. Near me so that is what they are doing, and consistently you are losing your numbers. It means you are not learning. So I think there's a more party. Sorry, no more will be a cool, level-headed person. I have a bit reasonable, not arrogant. Nobody to me at straightening affairs of the party in opposition. I say or more to me put two or more asses together. Maybe the MPP can find its mojo back and maybe act as a responsible political party. Now the I'm not sure say any issue will come and anybody will sympathize with them because as opposition, even what you're supposed to do, and that is not what you're doing. And I think say so I'm taking some of these things very seriously. I think say more now the numbers will continue to decline because some of the cases are in the pipeline and they are coming. Says the President Akufo Addo come muntie. David on fee. Omo ye bibia kwa en country. Yes.
Aventio, tell na be wa by muno, na be hanen ye.
Okay.
And basis here, omo ye bibia kwa omo mona man.
Say yes, he who the gods want to kill, the first make him mad. So that is exactly they are in a state. I want yes asema. What's it?
Madness na be wo.
Obi Kenya asem tro muntie. Na no they see what your friend is saying parliament do vetting. Your friend is saying in some nights, I want to now be sending part because the Chief Justice said something which I was expecting the opposition to take him on. Or can I say I tell you case, or man 70 years because no so or kwaba or beba attacking the family. You don't say that particular issue. I was expecting the MPP to just pick on that particular issue. But I'm so responsible opposition party, that particular issue, what's so we could have also paying? Because this is the job of an opposition party. Say, Asema Papa Kyei, you take him on that particular way. Say, oh, jail will be 70 years because of this. Then, as opposition, you have a reasonable grounds to say, no, you disagree. You don't put people in jail based on personal discretion or personal preferences and that's a form. But did you hear anything from them? Then the panel go through vetting. The most experienced person, then during the approval phase, that is where you go there to do this concert. Ghana 40 TV, so more has said. Let the process go through. And never no more, they were rather insulting everybody around. Because, Captain, remember the TV asked me who's on Kwabena, I said, asked Madame in the class, no, we didn't say, and I was very angry. So Captain, I cannot cry who TV and never night to parliament, because that day, the agenda of the day, the budget. We were told that budget will be read 2 o'clock. Your TV station made provisions for that. I know that what happened. The budget was read around 2 o'clock. Don't you think that Parliament owed Ghanaians an apology? Your station maybe
it was around 4:05.
So with TV station, I want make it because TV news also they had the open away more programs line up, and I want making sure say budget in say 2 o'clock, and you want make provisions maybe
4, 5.
Exactly. I don't think that is a concern since that day, no one will be apologizing to the people of this country.
The house of their own.
No. It's not the house of your own. Mine and your dear parliament. You are there working for the people of this country. Who says the house of your own? And I will the parliament is the parliament of the people. They are as our representative. They must respect us.
Can I ask you a question?
Okay.
Primary school.
Because primary school.
That mean Krubenso.
Because we say Oko drop out Krubu friend those who are Honam McCoy.
And Oko senior high school.
Because Techimai.
Yes. Teach secondary school.
Yes.
And now University.
University of Ghana.
No wonder.
Captain, and that is the reality.
Because if you answer the year,
Captain, that is the reality. That is the reality because you see, you are there representing people. It's not about you.
Wow.
It is about the vast majority of people watching you. And you see, if you sit in parliament and think that because you are honorable, you are super, you are a joke. Because people sitting on TV watching you, some are far more knowledgeable, intelligent, more exposed than you can ever be. You are there because of opportunity being out by the Nipa. So that is not a platform that you can making sure that people are watching you. If you have your grievance, parliament and Ankasa process, will room for some your friends addressing some of these concerns. Anything that your opinions bra vetting. Over vetting, the nominee is there. You have number of questions about Bisano to seek clarity to whatever understanding be our, but you don't forgo, you don't waive the vetting and say, oh, men call vetting. I drew the approval. Wena, you better approve Nipa Ghana for TV. Let us approve the person because the committee has recommended that he should go through. That's not the time to turn it into a debate and then let the budget slide. Budget is a me. It took about 3 days and some me who the home because time and not more everyday budget. Now I was doing something different because making sure that 2 o'clock is the time. I'm using my time to do something different. So I know that the whole agenda was to just push the budget behind the bus. And they succeeded in doing that. And the Speaker of Parliament allowed them to do that. That is why the last time I'm saying is going forward, we need a more younger. Your friends are quite assertive, strong person to sit in parliament as a speaker. It's enough. I think that we need young people. We are very strong, very assertive to sit there and make sure they put the house together. Because sometimes we you just shut it down. You don't allow it to happen. That is why parliament loses credibility in this country. How many people are running? Survey how many Ghanaians and the world respect for that particular institution. The results will shock you. But this is an institution that's supposed to be further the interest of the people of this country. So for me, I think and I think we need to make sure you see a democracy anchored in state institutions. Some of these institutions might be seen to be working for the people of this country. The mere fact that you free different political parties doesn't mean you got to parliament in Kwajin and here. No, that is not what Ghanaians want. At this time, every young person out there, are interested about policies and programs. That is what Ghana for her. First, Nana, about for men, those primitive political orientation, and then people are looking at real issues. I mind way by then why am I? They all already know, and people do comparative analysis. They look at the economic space, look at how things are going. Now we're just so they are turn about, and so we are politicians. Now we are just say you will still be sitting in the past, thinking that we are still in 2000 and 1992. You will be digging your own grave because young people of today are very smart, very intelligent, very assertive, very analytical. They go through issues and see we will continue to embarrass ourselves on TV, and then parliament has become so unattractive. I don't even remember the last time meeting a team and then can be comedy your friends show. Yes, maybe a comedy show because comedy show now is no different from what you see on TV. Where men are more, you see that these are men who should be men of integrity sitting on TV and embarrassing themselves. Argument, sometimes you listen to the quality of argument. I think that you see, they need to reconduct themselves. No, who said they are there representing people. The interest of the people is paramount. Your individual, your friends, preferences, your party, whatever, and then you need to curtail it a bit and go with the larger national interest, because Ghana for now more that is what they expect from you. You don't go and sit in parliament and be engaging in some of these things. That is why the last time the speaker was telling them, say, you cannot force the people of this country to respect you when you don't respect yourself. You sit in the house there, you don't respect yourself, you want me to respect you. You appear before a committee to do a vetting, and it ends up with your friend saying, Akonya, no trouble in you, and we have a basin there. And if you consistently do this, you want people to respect you. I think that, you see, they need to, because parliament, they consistently know the integrity drag it into the on daily basis, and Ghanaians are losing respect. And if they don't see this and continue to do the way Abokwana, and maybe better will be Ghana form when you share internet chromas say issue banner is about parliament, about say Saren, Yamfa come. You saw the reaction on social media. You saw the reaction on social media. You saw the reaction.
That's right.
That is how it reflected how the larger Ghanaians see the institution. There is no respect. So I think they must begin showing themselves respect, and that respect, or reflect in Ghanaians, and Ghanaians will accord them the respect that they deserve.
In fact, Madam Fubibro, by the power he invested in me, you are not talking again. Abba!
A captain, you were bufu. Oh, no cray. And you were bufu.
At time.
Never cause of and you were bufu.
At time.
Especially the day that
Chief Justice.
Chief Justice, And I was even sorry for him. President Akufo Addo called Supreme Court.
Yes.
And he has been there for a way. Yes. And I heard the trajectory near Wakoma. He's a very experienced person. Very experienced person.
So Akufo boy, no.
Yes.
Chief Justice.
Send the issue, this election petition.
Akufo boy.
And he was on the bench for 1 good year without even, they didn't even assign him to a case.
1 year pay.
Oh, yo.
Office. Will be a money case behind
You see? Anti-state institution, a man for the year or more day, or more personal way. You don't do that. Not say people now about remember the say go and sit before the vetting committee, ask him all the questions that you need as to whether Tokono was unlawfully removed or not. I don't know, Chief Justice on about now. I don't know, it's on your appointed way. That is not his business. Committee necessity and fan who be. So every beef be you know where to resolve those issues. And never Ghana for any say could be send the question to know whether he's competent or not. That's not what they require answer. I think they need to set up. Maybe President Akufo, maybe I do not person or save the party now. He should rise and save the party. Maybe that will help.
Lucius.
Captain.
Can be been Ivan bibi non kan wi ana
Mate. Well, I all kasa na miti ayi na consistently na kasa as opposition niam bi e se be ye bentum nya we see NPP for abe opposition CCA your niam bebre a hye bebo time na NPP wo aban mu no na bentum nka be fi we say baba opposition sa time we ne se be de den but the kaso tie nrachi ya NAPO shi nsema oba abonten ebe keka ya
no kwa na fi senka na obi oba o me side no he be otofa no dia
I no the way no kasa no I say obi kita remote ejina na chi sei ni na o control say on keka sansem because na me hu say so ebe fi obi anu abampo a enkanyo onu mom ne oba den obeka watch ase but na e cho say ewa aban mu no ensa na Ghana for can complaints na Ghana for ye nyina no na ban kasa no benim by away ensa na bentim nye den bentim nka including even former president Akufo kra no ontim nye den ontim nka basem ene Afenyo Markin sa obubobo ni di hwe damage ba ko a ye sese obehe enura chi mami bebe ready budget mami bi begina ayi social media say obi mu ye interview na oye retrospective analysis into 2026 budget year wa hu mami American one MPB
yes
Adia ayi budget aya readia 2026 budget
onye hu say reflect it.
Onu hu say I reflect it. What you say?
These people are masquerading in parliament.
Maybe
and you as a leader, no, instead of you to orient them, your job not even.
What you say?
Comment.
Onya proper orientation. What because obi Afenyo aba parliament. Kakra bia na ho asori api. Kakra bia na ho asori api. Obede kwanu ahu ne ekoso. Ontimu follow he. What you say? Embarrassment. Obeye or the buy. Say we a minority leader. Say utimi si uti ase na uhu say one kasan wani mu agu ase because one man nipa proper orientation. Because a ban is saying budget I read ya akra kitwa kra or to honim say budget we know is against next year. Now obi a no le or friend who say oye MP. Etimbe na oba can say who say budget no I reflect it. What you say na say one as a minority leader no kwampu no one ye waduma ye or parliament. Enti no yi of friends and captain. By numbers no there so be so ebe so ate. Ti there so be so ate.
Anyway, Ivan can wave on me. Shall see a free sort of a pan, dear BC services, yeah.
Okay. Dear Mr. Smart, greetings from the ISC Holdings Limited, an international security consultancy firm incorporated under the laws of Israel and with headquarters in Israel. We acknowledge receipt of your email request on the subject above, but some background due diligence had to be conducted to establish your identity within the Ghanaian society, hence the delay in responding to your request. Our company is known globally for delivering cutting-edge security solutions, management of high-level security projects, and training of specialized units for intelligence and law enforcement organizations. We achieve this using seasoned professionals with extensive experience, acquired through years of service in security and intelligence agencies, including the Israeli Special Security Services.
Yeah, man, trust me. And the catcher say, Chokrata, if you Ghana hako Israel, na me pay information be every company be or supply security solutions systems. I copy yem papa baba kamara the warehouse. Our national security for egusu yusu sesia. Ade no yeto ne saying yetua carry. Why ne be maintaining? And also 170 saying Krata 3 paragraphs per and a mama minia Ivan Akain. Yami Adoma a china. If I can't Krata Nina.
Promise go to me. I haven't mentioned
that is why I'll give clarity.
Yes.
To it. So that it doesn't look
but
as
you
though
started on the premise of attacking that. No, yeah, you should conduct your due diligence.
Yes.
No, that's a personal attack. No. Because I have not mentioned Julius Debra. It's a personal attack on my reputation.
How come you were subjecting that they should rather ask me because the chief of staff I should know?
No, because you're in government.
Yeah, you're in government. No, so you could have put it. You are
in government. That's why I said that.
You could have put it right that the chief of staff's office is there. Let them make the inquiry from there. You made reference.
No, but you are in government. You are the government representative on the show.
It doesn't make me chief.
I have no contacts in government.
It doesn't make me chief.
No, I'm not saying you are chief.
No,
you are. You see, you are a big man. You are a deputy. You are a big man. You are not chief of staff, but you are a big man.
So let me give this clarity. The supposed permission or whatever Ken Ofori Atta sought from the chief of staff was from the former chief of staff. And this is just to lay credence further to what Kyei Agyapong was saying, that this was a time where these people were untouchable. Knowing very well what he was up to, before they handed over, he wrote to the then chief of staff to take permission to leave the country. I have maintained my position without law or with law that Ken Ofori Atta is a criminal and must be brought back to this country, dead or alive. I am responsible for this statement. This is somebody who was everywhere clad in white, quoting Bible verses, saying all manner of things, making us look... Anyways, see.
Take it easy.
Bless it.
That's why I asked the question earlier.
Allow the process. I don't worry. I feel pained as a Ghanaian
and also on one side. The question is facing the NDC is: are you not overly suspicious? And permit me to ask that question that Ken Ofori Atta probably might have done something.
But we all know there's so many.
A reason for which the NDC will also be back in the country. We all know there's so many
ills of Ken Ofori Atta. If you have to mention the SML deal, the PDS, even the enterprise group, what was the name? Kennedy Agyapong. We all know all of these things. We can't pretend about this. And I don't believe in treating matters of this nature with velvet gloves. And I've always maintained my stand on this. If you've been found guilty or you are even suspected to be so, it is so shameful that Ken Ofori Atta, after being the longest serving finance minister of this country, cannot bring himself. The longest serving, Professor Kwesi. Oh, he's not the longest. Well, has not brought himself and is not ready and willing to bring himself. Was Ken Ofori Atta not sick in this country? Did we not see it visibly, physically? And he was still holding on to the position that he was not taking salary and therefore he can also not abandon his children. So suddenly what has gone wrong when you are supposed to be brought to book for accountability? That is another matter I'll come to. But in the first place, I still hold the personal view that the office of the special prosecutor was intended for bad. We knew the euphoria around it when they were campaigning, we will create the office of the special prosecutor, office of the special prosecutor. The intention was never a good one, because if you had somebody who is even a lawyer contesting to become president, wanting to rather create an office of the special prosecutor before being able to prosecute people for doing wrong, that is an ill motive. Because the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice Department can do that. You can rather even create a special prosecutions unit under the AG's office. I believe strongly in the dissolution of that office. It's a waste of the taxpayers' money, and Kyei Agyapong has been so talkative. And maybe, if the NPP want to attack these people, then we should be questioning what informed their decisions to elect or appoint these square pegs into the round holes.
You think it was intentional?
Well, yes, I believe it was intentional. The purpose was to hound the previous administration. The former office holder, Martin Amidu, made us know. Did he not make us know how Ken Ofori Atta will call him or want to come to visit him and want him to twist things in a certain way? Did we not hear that in this country? And then in the end, he made us know that the then president was the mother serpent of corruption. Then all hell broke loose because they didn't expect it. They were thinking that Martin Amidu was so bitter and therefore without clarity of mind, he would just be bulldozing his way to go after the NDC people. Martin Amidu would always pay attention to due diligence. And when now Shove came to push and he had to do what was right, then they now felt they had to frustrate him and he had to resign. That resignation alone was very shameful and a major blot on the integrity or the integrity of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo Addo and the NPP. Then came another one. They were praising again Kyei Agyapong, who we are told is one of the best, etc. It's always been press conferences and a lot of talk and doing nothing. I believe that office should be dissolved with immediate effect. I believe that we should rather create a special prosecutions unit, whatever, under the AG.
So the OSP office should be merged?
There's nothing like such independence as is being said by them when they established that. We have seen over the past 8 years that there was no independence. Finally, even Kyei Agyapong, excuse me, but the coward that he was couldn't say the things that were militating against his progress. Maybe because he feared for his life anyways. Maybe. But he has demonstrated again that he was not independent and was a coward. So he waited until they have left office and now he's telling us that at the time this was the most powerful people, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. What stopped you from briefing us, the public, about what challenges you were facing at the time? You couldn't tell us all of this. Then if now you are suddenly telling us all of this, it means that, are you saying, if we, the current government, which I know will never be the case, President Mahamadu will not endorse that, it's also frustrating you, you will keep quiet and not say it until maybe the next 4 years or next 8 years or 12 years when this government
is actually expiring soon.
Well, you see. Yeah. So this is a major issue, I feel that...
So why don't we wait, allow his tenure to expire and then we perhaps dissolve the office?
Well, I don't know, but every single day that office is running is a lot of a burden on the public purse.
Oh, really? Is it that much?
Oh, I don't want to care to know, but people are being paid out from that, and so we are not seeing any results. We're not seeing any results. And so
if we shut down that office, who then is going to prosecute the former finance minister? You want the AG to
the AG can do that. I mean, all over the world, do they have a special prosecutor's office before prosecuting even former presidents in some countries? Chiluba and the rest you can make mention of. What happened? We are just treating this matter. Look, the intent, I want to make it clear here, was never a good one. The intent behind the whole special prosecutor thing was a very ill motive. Because in the first place, don't forget that then candidate Akufo Addo even said that when he assumes office, he was going to decouple the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice office. He couldn't do that, but he rather brought an addition that was making the whole work murkier. I mean, like you said, special prosecutor can initiate a process and the Attorney General will just halt it. What happens then? And so there was no political will. Yeah. There was only an intention to hound or to hunt the previous administration, which unfortunately failed because the very person they put there, they thought was bitter. They thought he was going to go ruthlessly after his own people. Meanwhile, there was no basis. He may have personal issues, which he is very frank and open with. That does not mean that he holds a strong view against the entirety of the National Democratic Congress or wrongly against people. Yeah. And so that it is now more about even competence, the need for these. And I don't think that we need to treat this matter kindly at all. Yeah. It's shameful what Ken Ofori Atta is doing. He's embarrassing himself and his entire family. I must say this, his entire family. Because this is somebody who put himself on that pedestal, soft-spoken, clad in white, quoting Bible verses, making us believe that God was everything, and all that nonsense was just to swindle all of us. Today, come to be accountable, you don't want to. And I'm repeating for the last time, I believe strongly that Ken Ofori Atta is a criminal, and he must be brought to book, brought to this country, dead or alive.
But when you say that, that's a strongly worded
Yes,
statement.
it is my I'm not even accusing him of being criminal, but I believe in my mind that he is criminal.
You're not being fair to him. Why not wait, Elikem, for the court processes to be?
We are waiting. We are waiting.
Well, anyway,
can I come in?
Okay.
I think that the word criminal has never been how do you call it, a legal invention. For somebody to be prosecuted or found guilty by a court before you go a criminal. It has never been a legal invention. Yes. If you take the dictionary, it has its raw meaning. It was adopted by law, but it has never been a legal creation. So when somebody calls somebody a criminal, don't look at the other way around.
You're only looking at it from the legal perspective.
And again, I think the fixation why people are so much on Ken Ofori Atta case, it's not just the people. Even within the MPP, people have forgotten about that. Within the MPP, there was a deliberate attempt by a certain group of MPs that they were fed up with the actions and the inactions of the gentleman. They wrote to the president and they wanted him to boot the gentleman out. So it's not just about Ghanaians, because the MPP, some people, even his fellow parliamentarians, were sick and tired of the raptures of the gentleman, because he felt so entitled that he was not accountable to anybody, because this is a gentleman whose uncle has become president. He has been called upon.
He was even more powerful than the vice president, but the vice president could never also man up say.
So he was virtually playing God, even over his own party people. So this is the time. And this come to this point. We live in a country where we don't put men of integrity, men of conviction into sensitive position. Because in all of these things, you can shame people by saying, hey, I didn't do anything, I'm available, let's do this. You understand? Because your colleagues, some of the people in the MPP who serve, even the president himself is in the country. President Akufo Addo, he's in the country. And the vice president is in Ghana. So what is it? This I am sick card that he's playing, it has now been revealed that he's good, he's not bedridden, and he can come back to this country. So he's rather fueling the perception. So it's not as if people are fixating. And then my brother made mention of trying absentia. You see, the court is a place of reasoning. If you follow the Nuremberg trial after the Nazis' excesses, then to try somebody in absentia, you need to adduce evidence to satisfy the court that indeed the person is not available. You have tried all.
It's an extra layer of work.
Exactly. So it's not an option you can just go for and say, I'm trying the person absentia. The office of the special prosecutor and the AG need to start something, initiate something. If it becomes unsuccessful, then you can adduce that as an evidence and prove to the court that I did all that I could but this. But you cannot just start by saying, I'm going to try the person in absentia. So I think that it is Ken Ofori Atta who has brought all these things upon himself. Because I believe that if he's a person of high morals, a person of conviction, he should rather be willing to come and account to the people of this country. Because after all, you've done nothing. You understand? But because maybe he knows what he's done, and he think maybe he's aware he cannot survive, and that is why he's running away. And I think that we need to advance the processes. Our engagement with the U.S. counterpart has to be, exactly, just to bring him back, because the processes that we need to go through to bring him back is quite cumbersome, because you need to satisfy the DOG in America and then the State Department, furnish them with evidence that will convince them that this is not a political witch hunting, and then the indictment are absolutely granted in law that are criminal in Ghana, and the same thing should be criminal in America.
I get it.
You understand? Okay. So I think the processes are quite heavy. We must begin to look at it and address it in the way that we can.
I was going to go to the other, and so Kwesi can respond to all the yes, probably just
a quick one for the purposes of clarity and education. Ivan sought to exonerate CEO for saying that even in law, a criminal is not somebody who has been convicted of an offense. That is the position in law.
No. I'm saying no. Let him I'm saying that. Look at the context we are sitting in. We are not living. We are not living in a legal court. This is a governance.
Yes, I agree. But I'm saying that. I agree. No, in a governance, whether
you can use the word criminal.
Come on.
Okay. Let me explain something to you. The court.
I'll give you the time.
No. Listen. Yeah. Court do not pronounce people criminals.
Yes.
The court will only legitimize whatever you have done, and the subsequent punishment will be handed to you. No court will pronounce, because you have been convicted, you are a criminal. No. So the word criminal is an English invention. It's not a legal invention.
So when you use the word criminal, it comes in two folds: criminal act, criminal persons.
Okay.
When we say somebody has committed a criminal act, it means the person has committed an offense or has engaged in an act or omission contrary to law. Simple as that. Simple as that.
In a judicial contest.
Judicial contest. Good. No, I'm talking about law here.
Okay.
And when we say somebody is a criminal person or a criminal, as we loosely use, is somebody who has been found guilty of a criminal offense or a criminal charge or a criminal activity. And so to say somebody is a criminal, he said Ken Ofori Atta is a criminal. It means Ken Ofori Atta has been convicted or has...
Is that your understanding?
No, that is the position of the law. That's not my understanding. Google. Everybody can Google the meaning of criminal. Look at the Black's Law Dictionary. Look at Webster's Dictionary. It's not my invention. That is the position of the law. And so to say somebody is a criminal means a person who has been convicted. And I'm sure our studio audience will fact check all of us sitting here. Google who a criminal is. It's a person who has been convicted by a court of competent jurisdiction. Now, my seniors also make another point, and I'm actually confused here, that the AG they are trying to create the perception that the AG has stampeded the OSP in the past by truncating certain processes started by the OSP. I am not aware of any process that has been truncated, that was started by the AG and has been truncated by the OSP. Both of you have made that allegation. And so,
I'm just helping you with the explanations for what criminal means. There are two meanings, just as I was saying. There's one that relates to crime, which is a person committed of crime. There's one relating to crime, which we are told now. Then there's the second meaning to it, which is anyone or an action or a situation deplorable and shocking.
Exactly.
You see?
So would you mind to know which one?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. No, for clarity.
I'm just here.
No, for clarity. That's why I said that. It comes in two. I will say
in a court.
And then the person itself. No, the reason why. Hold on. You see, Alikem.
No, you asked us.
Yes.
That's why
I agree. But your explanation does not do justice to what Alikem said.
No,
Alikem could have said. No, hold on. Alikem could have said Ken Ofori Atta has engaged in criminal acts. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
I wouldn't say that.
Alikem said Ken Ofori Atta what you read. What you said. Who is a criminal? Who is a criminal?
That's what I'm saying.
No, who is a criminal?
Hold on. I'm saying.
Yes, who is a criminal?
That you asked us to give you the two explanations.
Right.
And I've got the two explanations.
From which source?
One relating. You asked us. We should just check.
You asked that people should Google.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay, so what did you check?
And my phone is giving me two explanations, just as Ivan was saying. The first part dealing with a crime, a person who's committed a crime. It didn't even add a court to it. Yes. Then you have relating to crime. Yes. That's a further explanation to that. The second part talks about an action or a situation which is deplorable and shocking.
That is a criminal act. That's not up for debate. No, that's not up for debate.